Hi YouTube, just doing a quick video on Israeli gold scorpions. This is a species that I've tried to breed a few times in captivity, and I've tried various different setups and things, including really quite big cages with, like keeping them in colonies and that sort of thing. And I've never managed to breed them, and I'm not sure why. So I'm going to show you a few breeding attempts as well that I've done that didn't work, just because it might help some of you to breed yours in the future just by not doing what I did. So I'm convinced that I had pairs of scorpions, and this time round I thought rather than keeping them in a big cage, I just keep them in small tubs and see what happens. So they've all just got a little hide that they go in during the day underneath a rock, and then at night they tend to come out and feed and things. And yeah, you can sex the scorpions by flipping them over, and they've got these things called pectines underneath, which it looks a bit like a sort of little comb, and you can sex them because the male and the female pectines are different. And also the male tends to have much bigger claws. They look more sort of muscly, and then the female claws are a little thinner. So I'll show you in a second the first pairing that I attempted. And yeah, I've tried things in the past where I've tried different temperatures, different humidities, all kinds of different things, and I've just never been able to get them to mate. And I actually spent a year in Australia, and almost every log that I looked under where I found scorpions, they all had babies on their backs, and I thought I'd love to do that in captivity with these guys, but yeah, I've just never been able to. So yeah, if you look here, this is what I think is my male. Look on the right, with much bigger claws, and they're darker as well, the claws, with darker sort of stripe parts to them. And then the female on the left, smaller generally, but also more shiny looking. Can you see, like, she looks a lot more glossy and he looks a lot more kind of matte, and then like the pectines are different as well. So when I first saw this, I was hopeful that there was going to be breeding going on. So what is supposed to happen is they're supposed to do like their little courtship dance, where it's basically a sort of almost like a power struggle looking thing between their claws, like a little kind of dance. And then there's supposed to be a spermatophore laid by the male, and then the female is supposed to pick up the spermatophore and put it in her genital opening, and then she becomes pregnant. But alas, it did not go that way. Nobody gets eaten in this video or anything like that, but it doesn't go to plan again. One day though, I am hopeful it will work, and I will keep trying, because I love this particular species, and like I said, I've kept them quite a few times in the past. I was hopeful that by keeping them individually in different tubs, that by leaving them well away from each other for a period of several weeks, that when I then introduce them together, that might induce some kind of breeding behaviour. You can see here, look, with their little jaws. Can you see the male is kind of and I have watched like successful breeding attempts, on other videos on YouTube, and this is basically what seems to be happening. It looks very similar to this, and they do this thing with their kind of jaws and things, just before the spermatophores dropped. So again, I was actually sort of hopeful at this stage, but then it goes a bit horribly wrong. And I don't know, now I'm sort of worrying that I didn't give them enough space because they were in tubs. But I think it is important to try these various methods, because one day, if you do it and you get it right, then you know how to do it, and you can carry on doing it in the same way in the future, and hopefully you can get repeated matings. But yeah, I'm still experimenting with different ways of doing it. Again, here that they seem to be doing this thing that with the jaws. Can you see where he's sort of like yeah, like nudging her a bit with his jaws, but no, not this time. I just love the idea one day of you know, like lifting up a hide with a scorpion underneath it and just seeing all her babies up on her back. It'd be really great. So yeah, I won't give up. Like you can see here, her behaviour seems to change. Look, so she's like suddenly gone, no, I don't want to mate with you anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And she's gone into more of a kind of a threatening position. Did you see like her tail went up for a bit? And now the male, it's almost like the male's kind of realised that. And either he's trying harder or he's kind of, well, he's pushing her backwards anyway. So it's difficult to know here whether he's trying to kind of, you know, show her how strong he is to try and make her think, oh, he's a good, you know, he'll be a good father for my offspring. And then he's still trying to persuade her to mate with him, or he's just kind of given up and is, yeah, more maybe thinking about eating her instead. Who knows? I didn't give up though because I've done things in the past where, you know, where I've just been about to give up on something, and then it's all turned around and something's ended up mating. So yeah, I didn't give up, and then this happened, where yeah, this is not ideal. This is not what you want to happen. So I'm not sure if she actually stung him there or not. I slowed down this footage and had a real look at it because it kind of does look like her tail suddenly goes towards him, and he looks a bit kind of put out afterwards. But he didn't go on to die from anything, so they may even be immune to their own stings, I think. But I'm not sure she did sting him anyway. I think her tail just went towards him, and maybe he sensed that she was thinking about stinging him. So yeah, still interesting behaviour. But I had quite a few of these scorpions. I'd bought quite a few to, you know, to give myself the best chance of being able to breed them. So I tried various attempts, but actually, you know, pretty much all of them had these kind of similar outcomes. So maybe it was like the wrong time of year as well. That could be another factor. Maybe I didn't get the temperature right or the humidity right. Who knows? But I keep trying different things. But this is why it's important to keep records of anything you do, because, you know, say you did something and it was a particular humidity and a particular temperature. At least if you've recorded that, and then they do end up mating and having babies, then you know that that's what you've got to repeat again in the future. Same with this tub thing. And the tub thing didn't work this time. Next time when I try it, I'll try something different cage setup. But I don't think I'll do the colony thing again, because maybe just having quite a few scorpions in one location can be quite a bad idea. So there you go. There's a bit of a fight going on here. Incidentally, I was ready with a really long pair of forceps so that if anything started looking really bad, I could separate them if I needed to. But yeah, any kind of behaviour like this is all interesting to me, just to figure out what they're doing, really, what's going on. You can see like the female trying to run away now at this point. Can you see the way like the tips of her claws are much more a sort of light browny sort of colour, and his are a lot blacker. Half of the struggle is trying to find a pair in the first place. Another good reason for buying sort of 8 or 9 scorpions at the same time, so you can guarantee yourself at least 1 or 2 pairs. But yeah, if I ever do manage to breed them in the future, I will post another video again, and I'll obviously let you all know how I managed to do it and give you tips, because I think this is the important thing, is that anybody who keeps these kind of exotic pets, I suppose you call them, is that they share all this information with each other. Because like if I found a particular way of breeding them that works every time, if I can tell you guys, then you could do it as well with yours, and it just means that more babies from this species become available in the pet trade, and it means that other people can enjoy them just as much, and also keeps the price of them down a bit as well if everybody's able to breed them. So you can see, it was not going to work on this occasion, but I thought I'd show you this as an unsuccessful breeding attempt so you can see what that looks like. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. I've got some videos on camel spiders that I've just posted up. Check those out because they're a really fascinating species. I've got normal camel spiders and fluffy camel spiders. And yeah, hit subscribe to see any other kind of exotic invertebrates that I keep in the future. And you can see my other pets. I've got an armadillo, for example. I'll see you in the next video.